Yes, anyone who wants to ask a question, please raise your hand on the Zoom application so I can give you rights to talk, because if we talk all the time, it will be very difficult for us to do the lecture. Okay, make sure to raise your hand if you have any questions, so it will be more efficient for us to follow the lecture. Anyone who wants to talk? Hello? So you don't have any questions to me? Can you still hear me? Yes?
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes, sir, yes.
We can.
Okay,
I can hear you.
cool. You can write on the chat side. I'm not gonna look into big blue button anymore. So let me just write it down.
Is my microphone even working? So I can't speak.
You can speak.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you.
Oh,
Have you watched the videos? Yes. Do you have any questions? I put an assignment for you. If you have realized, I put an assignment there. Okay, I'm gonna go through the assignment. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the register. So in the big blue button, although I'm not following there, I'm gonna download all the users. So what I want you to do now is go to the shared file and write your group and also your student number. There are, as you might know, 2 groups. And please write your group and also student number. You can find shared notes in this section. There, you can see it, I think, on my screen, on where the big blue button is. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Please go there and type your student number and also your group. Today is 26/03/2020. Yes, a lot of people are already writing their group, so thank you so much for your participation. I am following up the chat as well. Sophie is telling us that with multiple forms, I had problems understanding how you link the both forms. Was wondering if you could explain that. Yes, I can explain that. That's okay. First thing I want to do is once you have written down your student numbers and also your group, I like to talk a little bit about assignment. Make sure that everything is clear with the assignment. You have 2 weeks time. So basically what I wanted to do is to cancel the quizzes now and just give you an assignment instead. So I took the quiz percentages and put it onto the assignment. And basically the quizzes are not going to happen, and instead I'm going to give you an assignment. And I will evaluate that one. It's going to be an individual assignment. And at a later time, we're going to do somehow the exams as well.
Come on, look.
For the last time, when you join the session, please make sure that there is no background noise, no TV, no music. Please. This is an online class. Make sure that you cancel everything at the background. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us to follow the lecture. You can use a headphone. That will help a lot. Moodle system is there. I don't understand why you can't join it. It's there already working. I see a lot of people are there, over 34. So you shouldn't have any problem in joining Moodle, I think. Try to close the browser and try to log in again. I think that will solve your problem. You don't have to write your name again. It's already there, guys. Just find your name and add your student number and group. Like how difficult it can be. Come on, you are engineers. I bet you can do this. Just be smart, please. Your name is already there. All you have to do is to go there, type your number and your group. That's it. All right, I'm gonna open up the assignment that I have given to you. So going onto the Moodle page, and I'm gonna click on the assignment work, which is already indicated there, and maximize this. I'm gonna put my share screen here so you can see it as well very clearly. Right. So this assignment is given to you as of today. Although I uploaded it yesterday, I actually started the work on today. And as you can see, there's a 2 weeks deadline. So you gotta finish this in 2 weeks time. It is given on the specific date. You gotta do it by the submission on the deadline, which is by midnight, and I don't accept late submission. So make sure that you submit it on time. Otherwise, you will lose the work. And I don't accept any kind of email sent to me after this date. So I'm giving you enough time to do it. So make sure to work on it. The assignment is described below. You will need to complete it on Visual C# Windows forms. You do not need to create more than one form. And as mentioned above, you need to make sure that the program works when you submit it. This is very important. If you submit me code that doesn't work at all, there is no guarantee that I'm gonna give you marks. So you have to make sure that your program works when I open it with Visual Studio, okay? Another important thing that you should pay attention is the uploads, which I open only accepts zip files. So make sure that you zip your file before you upload it. It has to be virus free. It has to be not broken, okay? Any kind of broken uploads is entirely your own responsibility, okay? So make sure to test it before you upload it. Don't come and tell me, oh, it was broken and this happened and that happened. Make sure that it works for you before you upload it. If you have an extreme case, I can give you an extension for the deadline, but this is only for health or similar purposes, okay? And I need to see some sort of proof before you actually do this. So make sure that if you're gonna get an extension, I must see some sort of proof. Seems like a lot of people are having trouble in connecting, so I'm gonna save the
The other Which?
so attendance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I saved the attendance. Not quite sure what is wrong with your Moodle session. You should be able to join in, okay? And if you cannot, don't worry about it. I took your attendance anyway, so your name is there, so you do not worry. It's just that the group may be, or the number is not there, but technically you are on the attendance, so do not worry, okay? I'm gonna continue with the work that I was talking about. So we have, you can see the assignment below, but you are not only limited to creating an exact copy of what I want from you, but you are kind of like encouraged to go above and beyond, all right? This is an important issue. The more you try to go above and beyond, the better it will be. So if you only create a copy of what I ask you, and if your code matches with some other people's, which we can detect it very easily. As you can see, I am quite good with tools such as video conference tools and everything. I can use programs that can match your code with every other upload that have ever been done on my system. Okay, please do not underestimate my intelligence. If you do that, you will absolutely gonna get a 0. And I don't accept excuses for this. I have no tolerance for plagiarism or cheating, okay? You also risk failing from the course immediately if your code is over 90% matching with another person's code or a code from the internet. Okay?
I can't choose for long because people are being arrested.
So up to here, do you have any questions? I guess not. So I'm gonna continue. So what you need to do in this exercise is you're gonna create the following form. So what you need to do in here is that you're gonna create a profile form on the application with Visual Studio using C#. And you will retrieve some values which are displayed below, and you will validate these. All fields must be validated. And once you have done the validation, you're gonna show them in the user profile, which is gonna be on the same form. A demonstration of this is displayed here. This is roughly giving you an idea of how your form will look like. So let me share it on the screen. So it's not very clear perhaps, but what you need to get is a full name. This is a full name. Don't just type name. It's gonna be name and surname. There's an email, there's a date of birth, there's gender, address, telephone number, and optional interest, which are gonna be, when it is submitted, it's gonna be displayed on the site. So you will be able to see them, okay? So that's the other thing that you need to pay attention. When this is submitted, it will be displayed in there. So this is actually one form, a form that has a group box in here and another group box there. So whenever it is submitted, it will show in there. The form can also be closed with Alt F4 as a shortcut. You can add that as well. And more importantly, all fields are validated. I have given you some validation information down below, which will help you a lot, such as preventing numbers, email address, also characters. You can use these validations or something different to validate your fields. As for the date, I don't expect you are not compulsory to do validation on realistic dates, such as 31st of February is not a valid date. So I don't expect you to validate that. But if you do, that's an extra point. It's an innovation for me. It's something that shows that you are seeking to go above and beyond. So that is quite good, and that is something I encourage people to do so. So technically, if you go to the date part in here, you can type 31st of February, and it's like this is gonna be displayed in there, which is not a realistic date, but it will still accept it. But if you do a validation on this, which is not compulsory, I will give you extra points. This work is individual, it's not teamwork. Your project later will be designed as teamwork, okay? But this is an individual assignment, which ultimately will replace your quizzes. And there is no multiple forms here. Everything is one form, as you can see. And I also encourage you to use the error provider, which you can find the videos about it in my tutorials. Is it clear now what you have to do? Did you understand the assignment? Do you have any questions about the assignment? I can ask me the questions by raising your hand on the participant panel, or you can ask it by talking if you don't have any background noise. Or you can also chat with me. Whichever suits you.
So which works?
Kongan, you have a question?
Yes.
Okay, please speak louder.
For the date validation, if you validate your date in such a way that the days are based on the months and if the year is a leap year, is it okay?
Yes, it is okay, but don't forget that February is never going to be beyond 29, and it's only 29 in every 4 years. So that is kind of like a validation you got to consider. Now, I don't make that as a compulsory validation. It's kind of like optional to control the leap years and the months and then everything. But if you do that in an efficient way, I'll give you extra points.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anyone else? You can raise your hand from the application, gentlemen. You see, there's a participant windows here. Go to your, next to your username and raise your hand so I can see you. I don't follow your cameras. Please raise your hand from the participant windows. You can see it from there in the options. That when you ask a question, you can actually raise your hand from here. Okay, use these tools. It's very important.
So I can't see the tool.
You open it then, gentlemen, okay? You are studying information technology and you are not fond of technology. Please, don't make me kick you out. Now, if you have a question, I can listen to you. You have a question, Neville? No questions. Okay, perfect. So everything is clear, I guess. Sophie, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You asked me to do the multiple forms exercise for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen very carefully. I'm going to show you how you can do multiple forms now. I hope everything is clear about the assignment. You understand what to do, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. So I'm going to close this now and go to my Visual Studio. and take this on the side. So I'm not going to follow up your cameras. And I'm going to put the share screen. Can you see my share screen properly?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. So I'm going to show you how you can create basically a multiple form application as you asked. So in here, I'm going to expand my window just to show you how we can create it. Okay, there are a couple of windows that you need to follow up for this. One of them is the Solution Explorer. The other one is the properties. Okay, so whenever you create an application, it comes with form 1. As you can see in the Solution Explorer, there is a form 1 already. This is not something that you have to use. You can actually change its name whenever you want to. You can go there and rename it should you want to do that. Okay, for now I'm not going to do that, but you can also create new forms should you want to. To add a new form to your application, you right click on the project, go to add, and you can select Windows Form. Once again, right click, add, select Windows Form. Now from the opened window, you can select the Windows Form, as you can see, and its default name is Form 2, CS. CS stands for C#. You can add this, and as soon as you add it, you will see that there is another form now, Form 1 and Form 2. And if you want to open the designer for Form 2, you just double click on the designer. And now you can go into Form 2 code. So I'm going to pull this on the side so you can see it clearly. You can see that Form 2 is there now. This is Form 2 and this is Form 1. You can follow up its name. That's Form 1 and that's Form 2. Can you see that? Form 1, Form 2, Form 1, Form 2. So that's how you add new forms. Now to connect those forms, you have to activate them manually. Otherwise, they won't be activated. So let's do a simple exercise that we can actually try to log into the second form. So I'm gonna drag and drop a group box from the pane that I have. Let me just expand this a little bit further. Can you all follow, guys?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put in there a group box, expand it, and basically I'm gonna name it as login. Enter your username and password. And once I have done this, I'm gonna make the text size a little bit bigger. So make it bold. I don't know, maybe a different kind of font. I have some fonts here that I can use differently, like maybe Arial is a good one. So enter your username and password, a little bit smaller. Yes. Now I'm gonna drag and drop a text box here and make sure that the Arial is also 14 for this, and drag and drop a label too. So I'm gonna type this username here in the properties pane. I'm gonna type username. So going down, label user, username, and inside I'm gonna type username. And I'm gonna copy paste it and type password. Now I'm gonna copy paste this one as well, but instead of a regular, guys, can you please disable the background noise? It's very annoying. Please, when you join the channel, please mute yourself, okay? It's very annoying. Once I put the password there, I'm gonna find the properties in here to do the password field. So you can kind of like put a password character there should you want to. In this case, I'm just gonna put a star. So whenever I run this, it will just replace every character with a star. So I'm gonna put 2 buttons here. So I'm gonna put a button. And this button is gonna be login. And the button name will be button login. Copy and paste it. This one will be button clear. So right now we have a form. As you can see, we're gonna change its names. This one is txt username, txt password, and this one is label username, label password. We don't have to change the labels, but I'm just gonna change them anyway. We have a button clear, button login. So what I want to do now is that whenever the login button is pressed, we want it to go to form 2. Should you want to do that, first of all, before validating the fields, I'm gonna check up whether or not this goes to immediately to form 2. So I'm gonna put form 2 equals to new form 2. This will create a new forms object, which is the form that will be created when the user logs in. So you can also call it form profile should you want to, which is the profile that the user will log in. Doesn't really matter. And to show it form profile, you can make set visible to true, or alternatively, you can also say form profile dot show. Either of them would work. So you can do one or the other. So if you run this application now, whenever I click on the button login, it will actually create a new form. And through that form, what we're gonna do is when we click on it, it will go to form 2. This is in form 2, so I'm just gonna, I was doing it in the wrong form actually. So I was doing it in form 2 for some reason. So I'm gonna make the running application form 2 now to make sure that this is working. So I'm gonna go into the program 1 instead of running form 1, just gonna make it form 2. So coming into the application now, I'm gonna go and create this time form 1. This has to be form 1 now. Now, one final thing before we look into this is to go to form 1, which is the form that we are trying to connect, is to create a successful login, just to show that the user can log in. So I'm gonna make this bigger. And just successfully logged in. Welcome. Some text basically. So I'm just gonna put it in there just to show you that you can connect to a profile. We can also do a go back button should you want to in here. That should be button back. And when you do this, the same kind of situation can happen. Login form equals to new form 2 and login form dot show. It's also a nice idea to hide the current form whenever you log in. Otherwise, it will look kind of like weird if you don't, because you are trying to pass from one form to the other. So this is the core, these 3 lines are the core things to do. So whenever you press on login, you show another form and you need to hide this form. So make sure that this form is hidden. So just to show you how the application would work is when we run it, hopefully when it runs, I can press on login now and it goes to another form. And I can press on go back, it comes back to the original form. Login, come back. Login, come back. Login, come back. Did you understand how it works? So whenever I press on the button, it goes to another form by creating a new object. And also by hide the current form. So this kind of like hides the current form. Let me just stop the application. Hide the current form and shows the other form. And the same goes for the other one. If you go there and press on the button, this hides the current form, which is this form that we are in right now. And this shows the other form. Right, did you understand it, Sophie? How I do it? It's just 3 lines. When I want to pass from one form to the other, I just first create the forms, design them, and then once the buttons are pressed, I move from one form to the other. My session is almost ended now. I'm gonna create a new one because I cannot do more than 40 minutes with each session because we are using the free version of Zoom. I'm considering to buy this application because it's quite useful, as you can see. I like it more than Big Blue Button, and I think I'm gonna buy it. But right now I'm using the free version and I have less than a minute. Before I finish this session and open a new one, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
No questions for now.
So everything is perfectly clear. You are absolutely okay.
Yes, any problems that we have will refer to the YouTube channel or the PDF files. So,
You have problems with the YouTube channel.
no. Any problems that I have, I'll go and watch the videos or I'll read the PDF. files.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna complete this exercise now. In the next one, I'm gonna send the invitation. So go to big blue button